So this is the Be the Solution podcast and your host, Maria Quattrone. Today, first time guest, Simon Westfall-Kwong from the LuxeLife Group up in North Jersey. Simon and I recently became friends from a panel, actually, that we were both on from a mutual colleague of ours. So welcome, Simon.
Thank you for having me, Maria.
Oh, well, I'm excited to unpack with you today what you do in your area with your clients that makes you guys different and how you stand out. So, we were just talking a little bit about your SOI Playbook. How did this come to be?
It really started more intensely, during COVID. When no one can really go to anybody or show homes, so we started really, dig in and be in touch, intentional with SOI. To making sure they're all okay, do a care calls, and just making sure they don't need anything, and if we can help them with anything else, and they can reach out to us. And that's how it really started, and we built on business. SOI is probably one of the largest um, lead gen level that we use, and we definitely get a lot of business from it pipeline wise. We have a whole playbook from SOI. We also do a lot of client events to make sure we stay in touch in front of our clients and past client and future client also.
So, what do your events look like? What's the next event you have coming up?
The next event we have coming up, which I mean, we just had one. So the one we just had is Pumpkin Patch. We've been doing it for 11 years, and we bring in about 400 pumpkins from a farm into most of the times one of a listing, and to showcase the listing, people do know the home is for sale, and we have all our past clients and some of the future clients, and also all our team members, also who they think that they will do business with as well, and they come with their families and kids, and they have a good time, pick pumpkins up, and we serve pizza and face paint and do all the good stuff. They can take pictures, and generally real estate conversation comes up. We don't really ask them. And also when we do this, we generally, we used to send a postcard out to get RSVP, but uh, we actually track it that we get better success rate by actually reaching out by phone call or text. So every event that we do, we always reach out to our client prior and also after. From So when we launch an event, let's say the pumpkin patch is happening, we will call, hey, say, hey Maria, hi, how you doing? What's going on? Just want to invite you to a 11th annual pumpkin patch event. It's gonna be really fun, and love to see you there. By the way, also bring a friend with you, because in case that I may be busy with other people, that you have someone you can talk to. One of the reasons that we have them invite friend is that we can actually then add them onto our database also, and then they become someone who like us and trust us. The key thing is really you want to work with people first who like you and trust you, because they already will do the business with you, versus you go prospecting, cold call, and circle prospecting. This is people who already really know you, and you want to stay on top of minds, especially when everyone in an area knows about 10 realtors. So you want to make sure you're the person they remember to call you.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's great. So 11 years, pumpkin patch, 400 pumpkins at one of your listings. Smart.
Yeah, and we just have about 200 to 250 people come to the event, which is probably one of the biggest event. And then the next one we do actually before, and then when we're done with the events, we also get in touch with client as well, and just say, if the one who didn't make it, we will say, I'm so sorry, we miss you. Just want to make sure, you had a great time at, wherever event you were at. Because we normally take notes into our CRM. If they cannot make it, they have one reason or another. So it would be, oh, I have to go watch my daughter's, game or something, or I'm going out to a wedding. So we generally would say, how was your, we remember all this stuff because we have everyone take notes. So we making sure that we ask, sorry that, you missed a pumpkin patch, but, how was your wedding? Just making sure we have a conversation dialogue going, and making sure that we were listening and say, oh, wow, you remember that, we were going to a wedding or something like that. Right. And then we let them know, oh, by the way, what, we'd love to see you at the next one. And then we'll tell them about the next one a little bit earlier. And then give them reason that, what, we got to follow up in a couple of weeks when we have the all the informations, and we're going to give you a call. So that always give you constantly reason to call them. You have an item of value. You're not just calling them and say, asking for, like, do you have any real estate needs? You are wanting to making sure that you always provide value when you call, especially your SOI, because they will remember you differently. So yeah. And then we do the next event. Next event, I'm sure a lot of people do, which is the Thanksgiving pie giveaway. We used to deliver the pie, but get to the point that we have so many people that we have to deliver to. It's harder and harder. So what we do is that we have them come to our office now, and we do a whole brunch spread, and for 2 hours. We actually do it the day before Thanksgiving and the day of Thanksgiving. And
The day of Thanksgiving?
Yeah, in the morning. Oh no, sorry, the 2 days before. So we do 2 days before or the day before Thanksgiving, and we offer them 3 different type of pies: pumpkin, pecan, and apple. And then also for the pumpkin or any of the pie, if they want to have whipped creams, then they can actually get a bottle of whipped cream as well. And then we also have the serving tool that engraved with our logo on it, LuxeLife Group, to give it to them. And and so they can actually serve the pie. When they serve the pie, they remember, oh yeah, this pie is coming from my realtor. And people always talk about it because they all love the pie, and they'll say, oh my God, the pie is so delicious. And like, we definitely have pie orders. People already asking, say, when are you doing your pie? I want to put my pie orders in. So again, we also create conversation. We definitely do the care calls a lot. We do the FORD model. So F for family, O for occupation, R for recreations, and D for dreams. So a lot of time we have those conversations. So conversations start like, how's your family? What's going on? They generally talk to you about that, what's the kids, and if their kids go to college, and so we make them know on that. And then, at a certain time, we'll make sure, hey, by the way, since you are going to be empty nesting next year, what's your real estate plan, right? But you're building up to it. You're finding this out from them. They're telling you all this stuff. And they may say, oh, we may not be ready for another year. So we'll put the notes in, and we'll just stay in touch with them. And then like 6 months, prior, to say, hey, by the way, we had a conversation about 6 months ago that you were thinking about, selling. What's your plan now? Do you know where you want to go? So we found out that motivation's there as well. And then occupations about work, say, how's your work going? Some people tell you that, oh, I just got, a new job, or they say, oh, I might need to relocate to a different city. And then you have a conversation going, right? And then also when you ask them about, their job, they generally ask you about your job. So, and then you can tell them that, yeah, the real estate is interesting right now. And depending where you are, the markets, as really have limited inventory. So if you're thinking about selling, it's an amazing time to, put your house on the market. And they'll say, we can, stop by, show you data, and see what makes sense for you or not, and then you go to your recreations, say, what do you do for funds and all the good stuff. And then say, hey, they plan to go vacations and find out their lifestyle, because then, end of the year, you want to plan it out and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you, and I know that you could be taking on vacations, I'm gonna be on vacation, so I want to slack out some time that talk to you about what your needs are for next year. So those are different conversations you have with just like calling them for uh, 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 a pie, or just having a friendly conversation, and don't really always bring up real estate business, because generally real estate business naturally come back to you, and it's always they can always talk about it.
Mm. Yeah, Ford, FORD, something that
FORD. Yep.
is always something that is easy to remember and to ask people how they're doing, right? Just like normal human conversation, really what it comes down to. So you have
Yeah.
this, so you have your pumpkin patch, you have your pie event,
Yep.
and then
So
what are
then,
some of the other
yeah.
events?
So we can do the whole year, so you know what we do. So then we do December. We generally do drop off Popeyes for our VIP clients, which is their VIP premiums, or the A plus or A sphere. So we tag all our clients and past client and friends who they are, and generally they are the one who's gonna get the most attention, because they're the one who like us and trust us, and we know they can refer us to business. And so we have that in December,
What
and
are
then
so you pop by to do
we
what? You
pop by,
do what?
we drop off some type of gift item. We have done from candles to wine cooler to um, we used to do more wine stuff, but recently we actually kind of stopped that because of for liability reason. So we don't want someone to drink and open a bottle and then something happened to them and they come back to us. So we actually stopped doing events that have alcohol in it, or at least we don't buy it, so we're not liable for it. So that's really important, because it could definitely come back to haunt you on that one. We drop off. Last year we drop off a gift box that has a rechargeable batteries, a notebook, an umbrella, a little speaker thing, and then a USB, little thing that they can use. So useful item. So one year we drop off like almost like a converter that you can actually put all your different like discs into it, and like your pictures and stuff. So every year we come up with something different. So we always we have like everything with us is branded, so it's all with like LuxeLife on it. So our candles have LuxeLife on it. A sweatshirt has LuxeLife on it. Notebook has LuxeLife on it. Everything have just so they remember. And inside in there, there's information on it. People always love using our stuff. They love using actually. We have a cooler bag that you can bring to the grocery store. So when you go shopping, you can put all your frozen stuff in it, and that's a really good item for people to use as well. Then January we do because December is always a really busy month for a lot of people for holiday parties, so we skip doing a holiday party in that month, because they tend to have lots of stuff going on with the company, with their friends. So we generally do our event in January. We call it the Client Appreciation Party, and so we have everyone come together and have a good time in the office, um, and then we have sponsor on some of the big events. So things are paid for, by the way, just so you know. So each of the event we have a sponsor to help with the cost of the event. And then we used to do something for February, but we skipped. And then March we do either a movie night, roller skating, or bowling. But we found out that roller skating is much easier, because you can actually have a lot of people there, and also cost efficient. Because once you go to a certain number, and each person is only $5 a person, so it's very cost effective. Instead, $25 a person. So then we go to then April is National Dog Month. So with someone that we know they have dogs, we drop off a treat for them, a doggy treat if they like to have ones. And then May we have for Mother's Day, which is another big event. The day before Mother's Day, we bring in about 1,000 to probably 1,500 to 2,000 like different type of flowers, from roses to hydrangeas to lilies to to fillers to all that stuff. And all VIP can come in to decorate a bouquet and put it in a vase. And they all love that. Kids come in to do it for their parents. Husband comes in to do it for their spouse, or spouse versus spouse. So it's a really fun event. They come and we take pictures. We have a drop, we have a backdrop of all the flowers on it, and then have a
Beautiful.
logo on it. It's really cool. That's one of my favorite events, because I really like that event, because it's very nice. Then we do ice cream social for end of the school year. So we normally pick one of the listing and do ice cream social and face paint and all the good stuff, and just checking on people, because a lot of time each event we have different people come, so we generally talk to different people, because also we try to do one events more geared toward family focus, and some just like adult, and some just really more focused on kids. So then we can bring different people on into the events, which is nice, and we can get to talk to different people. Then July and August, we tend to taper off because people go on vacations, and people, the kids are at a sleepover camp or summer camp. And then September, we used to do a back to school event. Again, like almost like someone who has a pool will do a back to school, like pool party type of event. Then also in September, late September, we do a mom's drop off. In the Northeast, we have change of season, right? So we drop off a pot of plants, and again, a VIP, premium, A plus, and A, that who would like to entrust us and refer us business, or someone who we think that they could be either listing a house and buying a house to us. We also have that for them as well. Then you go to October, so it's like the whole year is all planned out. There's so once in a while we add something new, but we generally, this is a playbook and schedule. We have it all scheduled for monthly basis. So yeah.
It's amazing. Very, um, very smart. And it's a way to stay in front of people, stay in front of your clients, give value, have fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we post them online so people see it, and they recognize how we are very connected with a client or database, because most people are doing a lot of different lead gen, that will bring them business. But a lot of time people don't realize database is really, whoever's in your database, you get, business in there. But if you're not staying in touch with them, they're just like someone name on the database. If you don't know them, you really want to get to know them, and use your CRM, that you can actually put all the data in and information. So each time you call them, you may not talk to them 1 month, 2 months, you have all the informations. But if they're your VIP, and your A and A plus, you really should stay in touch with them probably once a month.
And then when they're ready, they call
And when
Lux
they're ready, they know they I mean, all VIP friends or past client, when they're ready, they always remember the cost. And when we talk to them, say, what, you don't even have to tell us that you refer you, because we'll definitely refer you. And when we know someone that's either thinking about buying, selling, investing, we almost like kind of put into the mind that they know that, because we talk to them and we see them so often, and they can remember you, right? So you gotta remember, you gotta stay top of mind, because again, there's so many people in our industry, and we live in a small community, and people know everybody, and you want to be the person that they remember to call.
100%. And you know, and I say this all the time to with agents, like real estate can be done different ways. You know, it depends, you know, it depends who your clientele is. It depends where you live, like what things make sense. You know, for example, like we work with a lot of investors, a lot of people that own multiple properties. The pumpkin patch with and we live in downtown Philly, right? We don't have like big houses with sprawling yards to put the pumpkins in. I'm saying not everything works in every market. You have to,
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. You
right?
have to
So
think of
you're like
something
a
that works
very
for you.
family oriented market. Kids are going to soccer and they're going to day camp, I mean night camp, and they're doing this different, right? So
Yeah.
you have to find what your thing is, your solution is, and then go all in. So, and that's what I see with what you just explained, is that you guys went all in on what you do, and you're dug in it, and you have sponsors and you have systems and you have it all planned out. So it's like whatever it is that you're going to do and is your superpower, go all in on it.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Because you're right. It depends where you are, where you live, and and what your client best, right? You know what they get, enjoy or coming to your events. So if you live in a area that's all in complex and condos and no green grass, you have to do something different. You still can do client events, but you just have to think differently. And it could be you can do movie nights, you can do at the theater, you can do there's so many things that you can think, as long as you put your mind to it. And but you want to do all in, you don't want to just dip it in, because this took us a while to with a playbook and everything, so now we have it perfected. But you really want to sink your both feet in to make sure that if you do something, pick one thing and do really really good, and and you can see results. But when you go to 10 different places and just dip your feet in on everything, it's not gonna happen, and you're not gonna get the result that you want.
Exactly. So it's more about going vertical than horizontal. So you go vertical, deep on something, get that going, and then add layer in
Correct.
the next
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You're not
Because
going to
we work.
start 2026 and you never did an event and do 10 events in a year.
Well, no, if you haven't started, don't do 10, 11 events a year. You want to probably pick, like, you can do generally, I think it's really smart to do quarterly events. So each quarter you can stay in touch with your VIP and your SOI and your A and A plus client. And then you have item of value to provide them, like, to stay in touch, to have conversation with us, because we know a database that we know we have to do something different for each of the groups. That's why we do so many of them. But generally, I would suggest that if you're just starting doing events, you haven't done it, you want to stay in touch with your SOI, you can do two a year, like every 6 months, and then you build up to, like, and then go to four times a year, and then you can see, like, does it make sense for you to do more? We generally gear up a lot stronger for September, October, November, December. And you know that every month we do something, because we know this is the last quarter for us to start building a business for the next year. So now we're really building for a 2026 pipeline at this moment.
100%. 2026. 2026 is basically here. We're at the end of October.
Yeah. We
Everything
only have a couple more, maybe a few weeks left to do business in in this year.
we
And then
have pretty much up till Thanksgiving.
Yeah, if it's a cash offer and someone who can get quick mortgage, yeah,
Right.
probably just before Thanksgiving. You have about two to 3 weeks for
I
this year.
counted out. There's like 35 working days left in before Christmas.
Okay, so make that next 35-day counts. So you
That's
got
right.
touch.
Make this time count. go all in on whatever
Go
it
all
is that
in.
you're
Whatever
doing.
you do, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be SOI. It doesn't have to be client's event.
It could
But
be anything. For
it could be
us,
anything.
we do a lot of expireds. Like
Yeah.
I say,
Yeah.
let's go deeper on that.
Yeah. I can't wait for you
That's
to come to speak to my event on about expire, which you will be, because that's your superpower for lead gen. So then absolutely that we want you to talk about it. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. And I say this, we're all different. We're all unique in our own way. And we all have something to share, right, with other people. And in regards to like the events, like something easy for the people to do from what I heard from you, because we did Pi Day for years, up until 2 years ago. Like I had Pi Day going on for 15 years.
Right.
But 2 years ago, I got really mad about the Pi Day. And I said, I'm not doing the Pi Day anymore. I was really mad. It was Thanksgiving and I was stuck with like 50 pies that people didn't come and pick up. And
Yeah.
I was driving around the city looking for shelters or retirement
We've done
communities.
that. We have done that. But now we get smarter. Now we actually call them advance for shelters and say, hey, by the way, we might have some pie leftovers, and would you like to take them? And they say, sure, absolutely. So we actually know if in case people don't pay pie, we haven't had that happen lately, because we also donate pies too. That's another thing I didn't bring up. We also try to each event we try to tie on with some kind of community, donate something or so for Thanksgiving pie. We actually we call a couple of different shelters and find out how many pies they need. And then when we make the phone call of the people, if they can't make it to the event and they say thank you so much and say, hey, would you like to donate your pie? They are like, yeah, absolutely. And then we let them know that we donated 100 pies to this location, this location, this location, and they love that. It's really cool to do that.
It was
But yes,
smart,
I
very,
have done
very
that before.
smart to do
Yeah.
in advance. I was stuck by myself driving around the city in some crazy outfit I had on, like not crazy, but like not dressed, like I just rolled out of bed and had to deal with I got a turkey in the oven and I have 50 pies that have to get out of my office.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing, we tied it to Mana, which is a local community organization who makes pies. So the pies were like $35 a pie.
Wow. Okay.
So I was really mad about the whole thing. And then I nixed the pie. I was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. That's why actually we do two. That's why we don't do it 2 days, because we do it. The actual event happened like 2 days before, and then the day before Thanksgiving, that's when we remind people and say, "Hey, by the way, you forgot to pick up your pie. You have the next 2 hours from 9 to 11 to pick up. If you're not picking up, this is going away or to the shelter, whatever." So people say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm coming by. Pick up the pie."
Well, they must be nicer people than the people who were picking up mine because they had 2 days to pick up the pie too.
Yeah. So now
And
do
then,
you do anything?
you got
So are
tired of
you?
making pie calls.
But it's a good conversation. It's like, listen, you wanted a pie and you didn't pick up. What's going on? So it's another way
Maybe
to
we'll
call
do
them.
it maybe this year. Well, it's coming up in a few weeks. We'd have to do
You have to order the pies now soon.
yeah. Or I will figure it out. Be the solution.
Be
We
the
do an
solution.
event,
Listen, doesn't have to be pie. It could be something else. Like, you
whatever.
you can be like, listen, someone may say, you know what, maybe you do like a mac and cheese like side dish to say, you know what, you want like free up your time not to make mac and cheese, to call up a restaurant and have all this mac and cheese delivered, whatever it is. Like, think of something that's kind of cool. I mean, I think that's the idea. Instead pie, someone always like to have extra side. So you can do like sweet
It was almost
potatoes.
like, oh, they got the pie again, Meanwhile, then don't take the pie.
Right. I mean, they might have their own pie, right? So if their
They
own
might have
pie,
their
then
own pie. It's all
yeah,
good. It's all
that's all
good.
good. Yeah.
We do an event. We started last year with a charity called Frankie's World. They basically are a daycare for children 1 day, like
Uh-huh.
3 weeks old till 11, 10, and they're disabled children.
Mm.
So they go to this daycare. They either are dropped off. Most of them are picked up by, the special buses for disabled children, people.
Mm-hmm.
And they give us a list. Last year, I think we had 48 kids. Of each kid, their name, the age, and what they want. And then we went and we invited people to purchase, and we purchased the gifts. And then we had a party, like a little event. And then we had they picked up the gifts, and then they had an event for the kids the following week with Santa Claus and stuff. But it was a really, like, we collected so many things last year. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then
no,
we got gift cards
yeah.
for the stuff that, a couple kids that they didn't get, so they were able to go buy the exact gift. So every kid got whatever it is that they wanted. And some, we actually got, I think, like they end up getting like a couple different gifts. So
That's awesome. Yeah. The other thing that, we also do really, like we really involved with a community as well. That's one thing you want to be involved with. That's if you do anything else also. Speaking of the gift, we every year, gosh, I think this is maybe the 15 years now that we involved with it's called Caring Kids, and it's similar. They we also, like, we normally get, like, 10 to 15 to kids, or 20 kids, and they are all kind of in a situation that they're not able to have a great holidays. So we provide, from winter jackets to, wherever that's on the wish list, we try to get them. Sometimes those items are pretty crazy, but we try to manage to get some of those items. And we go and wrap all the gifts, and it's just amazing. It's a great feeling that you can give back to the community, right?
awesome.
The other thing also, we really, where we live, is education. Everywhere education is very important, right? So we are involved with Ed Foundation, which is a local organization. I was actually one of the co-president a while back on it. It's raising money for the school system, and we have give back millions of dollars based on fundraising. So we stay throughout the last 10, 15 years being the sponsor. They have this event that they do in September. We always sponsor it, and we have a booth, and we just give out all swag item and just be visible. And it's people see it that we involve, and that's really key. You want to be involved with the community too. That's really important.
Yeah, I think some type of charity involvement, community involvement is always a good thing to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And pick something that, that you feel good about, not just because, somebody asked you to do it, but
Pick something meaningful. Absolutely. Yeah.
Something meaningful. Well, Simon, you've been a wealth of knowledge today, and thank you for your time and for being the solution with LuxeLife Group and all the great ideas that you shared. I'm sure that anyone who is listening to this, you're going to get some really great nuggets. So get a pen, paper, and write them all down, and then execute.
Yeah, just pick one. If you haven't done one, just pick one of the events. Just start with one, then go to 2, go to 3, go to 4.
And that's it.
But go all in.
And that's how we do it.